will have the ball first, and he has the most kickoff return yardage in the NFL. Flag down on this opening play as Smith got to the 30-yard line. Magruder made the tackle. Referee Gordon McCarter will give us the first penalty of the afternoon. Bobby Hebert will lead out the Falcon offense.
Holding number 37 receiving team during the return. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Elbert Shelley charged with the holding. That 10-yard penalty will back him up. Mike Ken, Lincoln Kennedy, Jamie Dukes, Chris Hinton, Bob Whitfield. A line that has played very well in the last 5 or 6 games for Atlanta. Eric Pegram having an outstanding year at running back. Rison, Haynes, Pritchard, explosive receivers. Mitch Lyons, the young tight end, the rookie from Michigan State. You'll see a lot of their red gun with 4 wide receivers. Drew Hill will come in for Lyons in those formations. Pegram on first down. Only about 2. Dennis Brown stacks him up, number 96, and Tim McDonald, the safety, coming up, number 46. Defensively for the 49ers, they have a young line now here with 2 rookies, Stubblefield and Artie Smith, joined by Ted Washington and Dennis Brown. Romanowski, Walter, and Johnson, the linebackers. And the secondary, Griffin and Davis on the corners, McDonald and Merton Hanks, who has taken over that starting role several weeks back from Dana Hall. And there is Tim McDonald, the outstanding leader of this defense. He came over from Phoenix as an unrestricted free agent. Second down and 8. Hebert too low for Andre Rison. They'll bring up a third down. Bobby Hebert passing at 63%. He is the number 3 rated passer in the NFC. 12 interceptions, 6 of them in one game last week in the loss against Houston. He had been having an outstanding year in the stats department. He has 19 touchdown passes.
And if the Falcons are going to win this game today, 2 things has to happen. First of all, Bobby Hebert can't throw interceptions. They cannot afford turnovers. And Eric Pegram has to have another big day. So it'll come down to the 49er front 5 or 6 stopping Pegram.
Todd Kelly and Troy Wilson have come in for the pass rush on third down for San Francisco. Hebert has his man. It'll be close to the first down. Pritchard, an outstanding possession receiver, 51 catches coming into the game. And it is a first down Atlanta.
Well, much has been talked about Bobby Hebert's elbow and his throwing arm and how he's really shrunk the field in the passing game. Now what that means, they're throwing really from 20 yards, and Bobby Hebert is most effective in that intermediate range. He was never really a guy who likes to go downfield. Now he'll take his shots, but he's most effective in that 20-yard range.
3 wide receivers with Mitch Lyons now on this first down Atlanta. That's batted at the line and almost caught by the Falcons with 3 defenders around. Dennis Brown got a hand on it. Michael Haynes nearly came up with a catch.
Well, Michael Haynes did a good job of doing 2 things. First of all, Dennis Brown comes up field with the pressure. You're going to see him number 96 right here. He's got to get his big paw on his ball. Now Haynes does a great job of getting in the transition game and going from a receiver to a defender. Watch, the ball's in the air. Now watch Haynes come right to the end. If you're not going to catch the ball, make sure you knock it down. Ball goes off his helmet.
Heads up play by Brown.
Very heads up.
Second and 10 Atlanta at their 28 from the shotgun. Tipped and incomplete. Rison coming back to the ball. It was a little high for him and he couldn't bring it in.
And again, you know, that's right at that 10-yard range where Bobby Hebert is most effective. Now the receivers know this, and they also know that Hebert's arm is feeling better than it's felt probably in the last month. He practiced on Wednesday and Thursday, something he had not done now for the last 6 weeks. And you can see he had 6 interceptions last week, and save for those interceptions, the Falcons are right in the middle of that Houston game.
A lot of misfortune for Hebert on that one too. 2 or 3 of them deflected. And some low snaps from the center, Jamie Dukes, on the shotgun formation led to some of those intercepts. 3rd and 10. Hebert steps away from traffic and finds Pritchard.
Nice tackle.
It'll be close to a 1st down with forward progress. Tim McDonald with a hit.
Tim McDonald did a great job of coming up out of the secondary and making Pritchard go backwards. It's interesting in this Falcon offense. There are so many names. You got Pegram running the football, and you got Haynes, and you got Risen. This is the man who moves the chains. This is the man who comes up with big catch week after week. It's Pritchard, and he falls short right here because of a great tackle by Tim McDonald.
The number 2 pick out of Colorado in '91. Harold Alexander, the youngest punter in the league, his first punt of the afternoon from the 23-yard line. And Dexter Carter, along with Tony Smith, those are the 2 best punt returners and kickoff returners in the NFC. And there's a flag down as they have used up too much time. Falcons didn't get the punt off, and they'll be backed up 5. A late arriving sellout crowd at the Georgia Dome, and it's quite quiet in here so far.
Delay of game offense, 5 yards, still 4th down.
Gordon McCarter with the infraction against Atlanta. Earlier today, the New York Jets shut out the Redskins 3-0. We don't expect that final score in this game, but one never knows.
Some offensive fireworks up there in Washington.
High punt from Alexander. Carter waves fair catch at the 17-yard line of the 49ers. And San Francisco will have their first offensive possession when we return. Leslie Visser talk about a bolt coming down from high on that roof here in the Georgia Dome, and they had a man up there to repair it. He has done so. They had a portion of the field cordoned off while he did his work, but he was finished 15 minutes before game time.
Okay.
Andre Rison getting his helmet pumped up a little bit.
You know, a bolt came loose in his head there, and they had to tighten that thing back up.
That's what he was doing.
That's what it was, yeah.
1st down, 49ers on the 17. Play action on 1st down. Taylor escapes from Darnell Walker and then is angled out at the 45-yard line by Jesse Solomon. Steve Young, the quarterback, coming in as the number 1 in the league, 69% passing. Harry Boatswain gets the start for the injured Steve Wallace, who is inactive with an ankle injury today. McIntyre, Sapolu, Tam, and Barton. And Amp Lee for the injured Ricky Waters. Waters out with a knee injury. Mark Logan continues to start ahead of Tom Rathman at fullback. Rathman is in uniform and ready to go today. On 1st down. In the flat, Jamie Williams, the tight end, number 81. About 4, maybe 5. Williams gets a little tap from the opposing coach. George steering him out. Defensively for Atlanta today, the front has Lester Archambault and Mel Agee, who have replaced the injured Mike Gann and Rick Bryan there. George, Tuggle, and Solomon, the linebackers. And the secondary, Deion Sanders with the rookie Darnell Walker, Scott Case, and another rookie, Roger Harper, the strong safety. Amp Lee on 2nd and 5, got maybe 3. Second-year man from Florida State has carried only 25 times coming into this game.
Yeah, but it's interesting talking to the Falcon coaching staff about Amp Lee. And it's real simple what they said. You know, Ricky Waters is a great player, but Amp Lee, to me, it's a wash, Jerry Glanville said. Amp Lee is as good an inside runner as Ricky Waters, and he may not have the speed, but he has better moves inside tackle to tackle.
On 3rd and 2, the 49ers show 3 wide receivers. Young flares it out for Rice. He is hit, the ball comes loose, and it goes out of bounds.
That ball will be spotted where the ball went out of bounds, which will bring up a 4th down.
And he had the 1st down. He was right at the marker when he took the hit.
And what good defense is all about is closing on the football. Rice has it. Now Vinnie Clark takes it from the inside. Your help will come from out inside. See this? Harper with a big hit. Clark, ball goes knocking out backwards, and that brings up a 4th down.
credit Harper, the rookie, with creating that impact and pried the ball loose.
Good defensive backfield play right there by Vinnie Clark. When you're a defensive back, the main thing you've got to do is know that your help is coming from the inside, so don't give up your outside.
Klaus Wilmsmeyer, who has punted only 32 times, the lowest number of punts in the league. And the flag is down deep as the ball bounces back upfield and is taken out by Romanowski at the Atlanta 24-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt from Wilmsmeyer. And the penalty is against Atlanta. The 49ers had a 4th and 2 in that punting situation.
Well, that will depend when this penalty occurred.
12 men on defense. 5-yard penalty.
Ouch.
First down.
Mistakes. You cannot have mistakes in a game like this. Mistakes come in a form many different ways. You know, you can talk about interceptions, fumbles, but also mental mistakes. Somebody not knowing when they're supposed to be on or off the field. That gives them a big first down after the defense done the job and stopped them.
So instead of Atlanta ball, the 49ers have it at the Atlanta 43-yard line. First down, opening quarter, no score. Rathman in the backfield. Young sideline is complete. Jerry Rice.
Beautiful.
Another 49er first down.
Yeah, that was beautifully done by Rice. Now he gets matched up again in that Sanders thing. And what they do is they run him upfield, and he does a good job. You're going to watch as he works Sanders. First thing, get the jam. Great job by Sanders. Use the sideline as your friend. Now watch him burst upfield. Watch the comeback. Force with the shoulder, now come back. One thing Deion Sanders told me that he really has to work on is keeping fronted to the ball. He doesn't like to get his back turned to the ball.
San Francisco now at the 32-yard line of Atlanta with Dexter Carter in the lineup. Steve Young off to a 4-for-4 start. To the tight end Williams again, and Williams bobbled but held on and picked up close to 5.
Picks up 5, and again 5 for 5 by Steve Young. Jamie Williams with a catch in the middle of the field. You saw the first catch that he had over on the sidelines, and you saw Jerry Glanville run out and slap him on the back. See, Jamie Williams was with him down in Houston, and they were, it's one of his guys, and he loved Jamie Williams, and so he gave him a big pat. Hey, one of those rare catches you get.
Brent Jones has come in for Williams now. They mark it a 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6. Niners driving with the help of the Falcon penalty. Young flushed, and he'll run it. Sliding in for a gain of 4, Jesse Solomon pins him, and this time Steve Young elected to not take on the linebacker.
Well, the reason he didn't want to take on the linebacker was real simple. There was no place to throw the football. You know, watch, he's going to send out 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in coverage. You get down here, you got coverage, you got coverage, you got coverage, and here's the outlet. Nothing's there. He will look and then get back outside. What Steve Young thinks the biggest part of his game has gotten stronger in has been the fact that he'll take off still looking to throw.
3rd and 2 at the 25-yard line. Amp Lee back in the backfield. This is Lee. Driven out. Good job by Sanders, short of the first down.
It's funny, we talk about Deion Sanders as a cover man. That was an excellent play by Sanders of making sure he doesn't get the first down. And they swing receiver number 4 out of the backfield, which is your hot read to Amp Lee. Sanders reads everything, comes off, gets the push out of bounds, and that'll bring up the measurement.
All right, quarterback. Just bring it to him. Come here, Steve.
Appeared that Sanders had pushed him out short, but here is the official look.
Tommy, if he wants to see, oh yeah, Tommy,
So it's about a half yard as Sanders did his job preventing that first down yardage from Lee. It looks like the Niners are planning on going here on 4th.
The thing that strikes me watching Deion Sanders make that play is the guy who he really liked to watch was Lester Hayes as a defensive back. Says he talks to Hayes occasionally, picks up different pointers. Well, if he knew Lester Hayes, One of the funniest things Lester ever told us in the huddle, and meant it, was that he gets paid to cover, not to tackle. Lester wouldn't have made that play.
4th down and a half a yard at the 22-yard line. A little less than a half a yard. Jamie Williams has joined Brent Jones, an extra tight end, in the short yardage push. Rathman, and it appears Rathman has a 1st down.
He didn't get there easy. Jesse Tuggle met him right in the hole, and that's strength on strength. As a linebacker in this league, one of the things you really look forward to is having an opportunity to get a head-up shot. Now, sometimes you're going to take it away, and sometimes the running back is going to be able to get it. And watch, right in the middle, you're going to see Tuggle make the read, get right into the hole. That is very well done. Face up, drive the legs. Pierce hold on the bottom. Well done by Tuggle.
Steve Young now 6 of 6. 1st down at the 20. To the end zone. Interception, Sanders. Running with Rice. Coming up, the better man on this play.
And the reason is real simple. You said it, running with Rice. Jerry Rice can fly, but Sanders can zoom.
When regular drills hold you back, send in the Ranger.
Deion Sanders' 5th interception in 8 games, stopping the 49ers, and Atlanta with a 1st down at the 4-yard line. Pegram. Dennis Brown on the tackle, and Romanowski there.
Well, right there, that play is an indicator that what they're doing defensively is working. They want to keep pressure on their defensive ends to try to take care of the outside, and they're going to bring safeties and they're going to bring nickel people up to the line of scrimmage to take Eric Pegram out of the game.
Romanowski, the only linebacker in this alignment, 4-1-6. Dana Hall and Michael Magruder in the secondary, joining the regular 4. 2nd down and 8. Not much. If anything, 49ers say they have the football, and they do. The bottom of that pile, San Francisco has come up with a loose ball.
Well, the official has already pointed San Francisco ball, so that's all for naught underneath.
Might have been Magruder, even though Jamie Dukes, number 64, has the ball on his arm. It's been awarded to the Niners.
Watch as they go through. Good job by Dana Stubblefield pushing it back. Now, boom, right there. Artie Smith and Dana Stubblefield stripping the ball. It looked like Artie Smith stripped it with his left arm, and that brings up the turnover.
So the 49ers, who were down close moments ago, have it once more. This time, 1st and goal at the 6. Still no score, 5:53 remaining. 1st quarter. Young changing it up. Gets it off in time. The fade for Taylor. Overthrown. Walker had the coverage on John Taylor.
One of the big differences for the San Francisco offense from the middle of the season on has been John Taylor has finally got his legs back under him. Now, last week he got bumped. His shoulder was bothering him. It was even questionable if he was going to play. But it looks to me, and John Madden and I had this conversation, that John Taylor's legs are back and he can finally hit that second gear. And when he's running the way he's capable of, that adds more pressure on his secondary.
43 catches coming into this game, the 31-year-old veteran from Delaware State. Quick flare for Lee. He's got room. Touchdown. Ampli in full gear when he caught that ball. Ran right to the pylon.
Very well done by Ampli, and a great job by Steve Young finding him. He's going to swing to the left here. Now inside, that's a great job inside by the pick. And that allows Lee all kinds of room and beat George to the pylon. Watch the pick come from Jerry Rice. They're right inside. George can't get out there, and that allows enough room to get the touchdown.
Mike Kofer for the point after. Ampli playing for the injured Ricky Waters. Waters might miss another week or two. The knee injury suffered last week against Cincinnati. Point after is good. And the 49ers have opened the scoring. 5:44 to go in the first. It is 7-0. Scoring here at the Georgia Dome on the Steve Young to Ampli 6-yard touchdown pass. Recovering the fumble by Pegram, and that was the 31st turnover of the year by Atlanta. Remember, they went 0-5 at the start of this season, and it was due largely to turnovers, and only 2 teams are ahead of them in that category in the NFL. So they have been costly again early in this game. 5:44 to go. Pegram is one of the deep men. Tony Smith standing at the 2, flanked by Pegram and Jason Phillips. Smith from the 6. To the 26. Hit by Dana Hall. Let's go back and have a look at that touchdown play, Matt.
Well, you measure a player by his greatness, and I'm talking about Jerry Rice. Now, everybody talks about what he does with the ball in his hands. Watch what he does with the ball away. He is responsible for Ron George right here. See that? He picks Ron George because he knows he has man coverage, and by picking him, that allows Ampli back out inside. Now, Deion Sanders thinks he has a great jam, which he does. But watch Rice. See that? He knows where he has to get to, and that is to take care of George. George gets picked. Lee comes out, 6 points.
Well executed by the 49ers for their first score of the game. First down at the 26-yard line for Atlanta. Hebert, 2 of 5 in his first series. Andre Rison. Hill, pardon me, Drew Hill, 85.
Drew Hill with the catch. That play was all Bobby Hebert. You talk about a young quarterback doesn't have patience, but what a guy with great experience has is patience. Watch this. Right in his face. He's going to stay. Knows he's going to get hit. Ball right where it has to be. First down. Beautifully done by Bobby Hebert. I don't think there's a tougher guy in the league staying in the pocket. Bobby Hebert. And Drew Hill knows that and stays with it, comes up with a catch.
37-year-old Drew Hill. 34 catches coming into this game. First down, Atlanta at their 42. Pegram smacked right at the line of scrimmage. Carl Wilson, recently acquired defensive lineman number 77, made the tackle.
Well, Tim, I got to tell you right now, the San Francisco 49er down people are really doing a good job. In fact, I did not expect them to get the kind of pressure they're getting on Hebert, and I didn't expect them to be able to handle the offensive line of the Falcons taking away Pegram. Right now, Stubblefield's coming off the ball well. Washington's doing a good job. Smith has made a big play. And Wilson, who they picked up right off the street, has played well.
He was last with the Dolphins. He's worked his way around the league this season. They signed him last week, and they plugged him in at left end for this series. Dennis Brown spot. 2nd and 8. Hebert, once he's got Rison.
Bobby Hebert had enough time to pump fake, and the reason is there's great protection. Watch Hinton, Dukes, Kennedy, Ken, they're all up front. Whitfield, see the pump? Lots of time to get the Rison down the middle of the field. Now, one of the things that Bobby Hebert says he thinks he can do to McDonald is take him out of the hole. Nobody in the middle. McDonald bit on the pump. Rison able to go up and get the ball for a big first down.
First and goal inside the 10. To the 5-yard line, Pritchard. Hit immediately by Merton Hanks.
Well, Tim, we talked about him being tough, and all too often people associate toughness with the physical part. But this guy, Bobby Hebert, is a mentally tough guy. You can throw people in his face. He'll hang right in the pocket. He knows where people have to be. Last week, he told us the touchdown that he threw to Rising, he never even saw him. He knew he was going to get hit, but he stayed on it because he figured that Rising would be where he thought he would be.
Threw it to the spot at the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal. There it is, a diving grab by Rising, touchdown.
Now we talk about throwing to the spot, Tim, and mental toughness. He knows he has the blitz. He knows where Rising has to be. The safest throw is down low. You can't draw it up any better. June Jones with a great call. Bobby Hebert with the great execution.
Andre Rison's 13th touchdown of the season, and that ties a team record that goes all the way back to 1981 Alfred Jenkins.
Andre Rison, he knows how to play. And he knows when you're inside the 20, he can smell the goal line. And the thing that's most impressive is almost like Sterling Sharp, as you see Dana Hall down right there, but walking off under his own power, is teams know that the ball is going to go to Sterling Sharp. They know the ball is going to go to Andre Rison. The greatness of the player is the fact that they still come up with the catch.
Rison 67 catches coming into the game, a main man in June Jones' pass offense. That's the offensive coordinator with his back to you and the headset on. We had the good fortune of seeing a fine game with Atlanta beating Dallas a few weeks back, and June Jones, I think you said he called a perfect game.
Well, he was on top of everything. And right now, you take away the mistakes, he's on top of this one also.
Norm Johnson for the point after. And we have a tie football game. Let's take one more look at that touchdown pass. Hebert to Rison to tie it up at 7 here in the Georgia Dome. Atlanta Falcons have tied it up at 7, 2:28 to go here in the first quarter. June Jones, the offensive coordinator, talking to the man who scored the touchdown, Andre Rison. Johnson's kickoff, short. Taken by the tight end Williams at the 23-yard line as a fair catch. Blocking not set up for the 49ers in front of that.
Well, Tim, we were talking about the mental toughness and the ability to concentrate. Watch the eyes of Bobby Hebert. Now, what you're going to notice from the top right hand of your screen, he sees nothing but Dana Hall, and he's throwing right to the spot. This is what experience gives you. This is what mental toughness gives you. And this is what Bobby Hebert gives you. Look at it, right in his face. Doesn't see Rison, but he knows where he's going to be. Beautiful. 74
yards in 7 plays for the score. The big play, a 47-yard pass from Hebert to Rison to set it up. On first down, Taylor reaching for the marker. He'll be short by a yard. Turnaround catch. Solomon, the linebacker, came over to provide the coverage with Darnell Walker, the cornerback.
Easy, Bobby doing some of his coaches all by himself. He's doing the coaching. And you get here, I'll hit you with the pass. You know, you take this, break it off here. The best coaching on the field doesn't come from coaches, it comes from players.
What I wonder is whether those guys understand Cajun very well, though. That's, you know,
they're forced to right now.
2nd and a yard. Somehow he communicates. Bobby Hebert. They love him here. Camp Lee trying to get to the marker, and with a good spot he'll have it. It appears he does. Tuggle put a good hit on him to knock him back, but forward progress should give the Niners the first down.
Jesse Tuggle appears to me to have regained the form that he had last year. Is this a Pro Bowl year for Jesse Tuggle? No, not at all. But is he back to the form where he was last year, the last 5 games or so? Yes. And what the difference is? Well, he didn't go to training camp this year. He held out, and he really came back. They switched to a 4-3. He didn't have the field. He was missing all kinds of tackles. Right now, though, he's comfortable, and he's making plays.
He leads the team with 135 coming into this game, but he did struggle during that 0-5 start. Taylor again, another first down, 49ers.
Well, you know, we're going to see a lot of John Taylor, and we're talking a lot about Rice, but Taylor's the man, and the reason is simple. Deion Sanders on the other side is going to be matched up well with Rice. John Taylor was working on a rookie 45, Darnell Walker. Now what they have to do with Walker is give him help underneath. Last time you saw Jesse Solomon undercutting him and taking away the tackle underneath, making the tackle underneath. They will have to help Walker on Taylor all day long.
Well, they've helped him by giving him a rest. Vinnie Clark has come on into his spot in the corner on first down. Lee hit at the line of scrimmage, no gain. First contact, Solomon, the linebacker, 54.
You know what I like about Jesse Solomon? He shows up in a bad mood all the time. And he understands the game, knows how to play, understands the scheme, and can convey it to the rest of the guys. This guy's a player. I've liked him his whole career.
That's what they felt.
Final seconds of the first quarter, and Lester Archambault is down and injured here, getting some attention from trainer Jerry Ray. Lester Archambault picked up in a trade from the Green Bay Packers, where he had been a reserve, was brought in as a reserve here, but when Rick Bryan went down and Tim Green went down, Lester Archambault had to become a starter. He's done a good job.
And you're going to watch him right in the end, number 92. Watch now, as defensive end, you got to keep the outside arm free. Throws him back inside. Now here comes everybody to put the beating on him. It's funny, you saw him sitting there as he's walking off under his own power, but the guy who went over to talk to him was Deion Sanders. Now last week, Jumpy Geathers, the defensive lineman, knew he couldn't play, but Sanders says he was responsible for getting him hurt because he said he went over and put that prime pressure on him. He said he gave him the peer pressure, said, Jumpy, you may be 6'7" and 315 pounds, but you're playing today. That's big Jumpy Geathers. Take a guess which one he is.
He's got a severely sprained ankle and just couldn't do it again despite the pressure from Sanders. Young, complete to Brent Jones, and Jones with a first down to the 35-yard line of Atlanta. Scott Case made the tackle. First completion to Jones, always a key guy. That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, the San Francisco 49ers 7, the Atlanta Falcons 7.
Man-to-man up top, you take the safety, commit him to the tight end, you go man-to-man down here. What this does is you give Steve Young two choices. You got Rice way up top, or you got Jones underneath. He chooses Jones, big first down.
To the 35-yard line, the 49ers now going left to right. Tie ball game, second quarter. Tim Ryan and Matt Millen here at the Georgia Dome. Open on the sideline is Taylor. It took quite a shot from Case. It's incomplete.
Nice job by Scott Case coming over the top, but even a better job by John Taylor. One thing about John Taylor is he is a tough guy. He knows he's going to get popped, and this is what it sounds like when the safety's coming over to hit you right in the face. You know, television really does a disservice to everyone because it shows everything relative, and you really don't see how fast everybody's moving and how tough the hits are. Every now and then you get a little glimpse by listening to it, and it is one tough football game.
There's an intense guy, Scott Case. A timeout called, taken by the 49ers with the clock winding down, and we'll be back at the Georgia Dome in a moment.
At Coca-Cola.
Steve Young, a hot hand, 10 of 13 with a touchdown, one interception. It stopped their initial drive, but they got it back on a fumble by Pegram, resulting in their first score. And Sanders' fifth interception in 8 games for Deion Sanders since coming back and giving the Falcons quite a lift. 7-7 the score. 14:56 to go in the first half. Amp Lee with a good hold. And a first down, San Francisco.
And a nice job by Harris Barton coming across on the trap. They go with the inside trap. We talk about Amp Lee being an inside runner. What he does real well is watch Harris Barton's going to come right into the middle of the hole. He does a very good job of waiting. See this? Take away the block, clear it back up inside. Amp Lee from tackle to tackle is more talented than Ricky Waters tackle to tackle. Now I know Ricky's listening to this and he's going to be getting mad right now, but the basic truth is Amp Lee has a great feel for inside running.
Archambault has come back in to the Falcon lineup with Mel Agee. They had only 2 true down linemen on that run against Amp Lee. Brent Jones He gets about 8 down to the 17-yard line of Atlanta, where Ron George, the rookie from Stanford, made the tackle.
Well, Brent Jones is the Atlanta Falcons' Mike Pritchard. You talk about Taylor, you talk about Rice. No, I'm talking Pritchard is Brent Jones. They're just the different guys. One is 35, one is 84. And the reason is you start focusing on the wide receivers of each team, and all of a sudden this is a guy who does the damage. You look down inside the 20, he's huge. Look at a guy who moves the change. It's been Brent Jones.
They mark it a 6-yard pickup, or closer to 5. 2nd and 5 for the 49ers. The 18-yard line of Atlanta. Young hauled down by Jesse Tuggle, got maybe a yard.
And again, Steve Young was looking for Brent Jones, but Scott Case put the clamps on him. And you know, inside the 20, there's nobody in the backfield. You have to go man-to-man. Up comes Case. Now, keep your hands on him. Don't let the guy, when you're in man coverage, stay with your man. Nice job by Scott Case. Now, you can see Young looking for him all the way. Doesn't know where to go. He's got to try to use his speed, but Jesse Tuggle matches the speed and makes the big 3rd down play. Nice series by Scott Case. A couple of big hits. Good coverage.
49ers are tough from this point in, but they've got a 3rd down here. Rathman will be close to a 1st down. They need to get to the 13, and they'll await the spot. Likely a measurement on this play.
Well, this is
Tuggle again on the hit.
Yeah, Tuggle again having a big day and getting the field back. But the guy who's really made another difference coming back to the end of the season has been Tom Rathman. And George Seifert told us early in the season that Mark Logan had done a very good job out of the fullback position, but Tom Rathman had a better feel for the passing game, particularly in the underneath stuff. And here he gets a 1st down for him.
Rathman, 31 years of age, from Nebraska, now in his 8th year, and just had to patiently wait till he got better and reclaim the job. They were sure pleased with what Mark Logan was able to give him in Rathman's absence.
Well, he had shoulder surgery, and he told me he's in about week 15 of a 16-week rehabilitation, so he's not quite there yet.
1st down, 49ers, 7-7 game. Lead to the 10.
On that particular play, the 49er right side of their offensive line just won the battle. Harris Barton and Ralph Tam came off nice and low, got their feet moving, got a good push, picked up a few yards. So that's a good job by that offensive right side. Big Ralph Tam, number 64, played with him in Washington, and they released him. He came to me one day in the weight room and said, "Matt, can you make a couple calls for me because I think I can play?" I called a friend of mine with a 49er organization, and heck, he's starting. I might have to go into the agent business.
Yes, I'd say he owes you something, at least dinner. 2nd down. Good time for Young. He's got a man, Rathman. Rathman bobbled and then made a fine catch and may have another 1st down. Yes, he does. Tuggle and Clark pin him there.
Well, Tom Rathman understands what the game's all about, and he understands that it's about concentration. Now, you're going to miss it the first time. Stay with the ball, get your head around, get a feel, and make the catch. And you know you're going to get hit, you better get down. And what he really wanted to go to was number 80, Jerry Rice. The reason he couldn't get there, watch the coverage, Deion Sanders with the close. Speed on speed, Sanders wins that matchup.
Rathman got the 1st down, 1st and goal from the 2. Back to the end zone for Rice, incomplete. Harper got a hand on it, the rookie from Ohio State.
Nice job by Harper. They went in motion, and they took Rice all the way across. He tried to get him with the quick out in the flat. He couldn't get it, so what he did was he did just a big old U-turn, took the beltway all the way to the back. Now watch Harper spin with him. Very good job. Look at this. Can't do any better than what Harper did right there on Jerry Rice.
This is now play number 14 of this 49er drive. 6:30 off the clock. Rathman, touchdown, 49ers.
Boy, that looks simple. Harris Barton with a little trap inside, blows the hole wide open. Tom Rathman, watch him up front. Watch the quick trap. Barton with a great block. See this right here? Harris Barton with a big block. And I mean, Tim, I think you might be able to get in there.
Well,
maybe not.
Harris Barton, you saw the touching feature on Harris and his father in our NFL Today show with Leslie Nielsen earlier today. Great family reunion for him, and the 49ers have taken the lead on Kofor's point after, making it 14-7. Let's take a look at Rathman running it in. On the 2-yard touchdown run by Tom Rathman behind that big guy there, number 79, Harris Barton. And so there is a happy 49er fan and several other members of the family. That's his father, Paul, right here at the Georgia Dome, and a special suite provided today by the 49ers to watch his son Harris do his thing. And he did it on that drive. What a drive, 70-70. And Smith running hard to the 25-yard line of Atlanta. Well, tomorrow here on CBS, our regular Sunday action of the NFL, starting at 12:30 Eastern. Chicago will be at Tampa Bay. The Rams are at New Orleans. And the 4 o'clock games, Dallas at Minnesota. That's a big one for both teams. Troy Aikman, the number 2 rated passer, and joined by the outstanding runner Emmitt Smith, the 3rd leading rusher in the league. They're at 8-4. The Minnesota Vikings in the thick of the NFC Central race desperately need a win tomorrow. Deion Sanders opens on offense this series. Running in the slot position. Hebert takes it up the middle, slides to the 30, pulled down from behind by Dennis Brown.
Well, there's a reason number 21 Sanders is in the game. And the reason is simple: get him the football. Anytime this man has his hands on the football, whether it's a pass, whether it's a punt return, kickoff return, he has the ability to go to distance. Now, the 49ers know this, so what they do is they roll their zone, bring Michael Magruder right up on him, and jump him. A good defense by the 49ers, a nice adjustment to Sanders.
Falcons send in Steve Broussard, number 44, replacing Pegram on 2nd down and 5 after the run by Hebert. To the left. Broussard takes it back the other way, running hard. That's the first down. What a collision with Tim McDonald.
Yes, sir.
Call that a tie.
Tim McDonald knows how to show up there and put a whooping on somebody, too. Now, I've always felt that Tim McDonald was a better player the closer he was to the line of scrimmage. When he was in Phoenix, Fritz Shermer used him really a whole bunch, tighter and tighter, get him more involved in the run defense. The 49ers have used him more in the pass coverage. He's better to me the closer he gets and get him involved in that run game.
Sanders has come out. Drew Hill is in as the slot back. 1st down. Falcons at their 35. 9:05 to go in the first half. Broussard. The flag on the play, and Broussard gets to the 45-yard line of San Francisco.
Well, he got a big block by Mike Ken, but it may have been a hold. Flag was dropped. Ken took his man out. And that allowed Broussard to get to the corner, and they're going to call a hold on the Atlanta Falcons. Ken's not too thrilled with that right now.
I think he'd be entering a not guilty.
Holding, number 78, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, repeat 1st down.
You're watching right in man line scrimmage right here. What he's going to do is he's going to try to get the shoulder, defensive end Artie Smith. Work upfield, work upfield. Tell me I don't see a hold anywhere. That's good blocking. Mike Ken, I hold for the defense right there.
Well, the crowd here agrees with you. No surprise. They just saw the replay on the big screen.
One of the downsides to the Atlanta Falcons, Jerry Glanville tells us, is that the officials never give him any calls.
1st and 16 from the 30-yard line of Atlanta. Broussard again. This time he's met at the line of scrimmage by Merton Hanks. Safety coming up to make that hit, holding him to a gain of maybe 3.
It's funny about Merton Hanks. What happens with him, he's going to walk him up for that safety position. Now, Jerry Glanville told us that if Merton Hanks walks up, they are just going to ignore him. They don't think he can make a play, and you want to know something, he's wrong, because Merton Hanks stuck his face right in the middle of that one. He said, hey, 3-6 walks up, he doesn't exist. We are not even going to look at him. Well, it's easy for Jerry to say because Hanks doesn't have to hit Jerry.
6'2", 185-pounder. Became the starter over the second-year man to the third-year man, pardon me, Dana Hall. Second down and 12. Broussard running, and he gets about 5 at the 38-yard line, where he's met by Dennis Brown.
I've always liked Broussard. When he first came into the league, I was with the 49ers, and we've got to play against him twice that year. And all of us collectively felt like he was going to be another Dalton Hilliard. Quick guy, good strong inside guy, had good vision, tough to tackle. He's got a good burst, and they like that burst, so they put him outside as a wide receiver. I like him behind the quarterback carrying the ball.
Number 1 pick in 1990. Yeah, the third down. Pass rushers are in. Kelly and Wilson, Troy Wilson, for the 49ers. Pritchard close to the first down. He's trying to reach for the spot. Let's see if they give it to him. He was knocked backwards, so he may have it on forward progress. Dana Hall and Magruder combining on the tackle. This will require a measurement. 6:37 remaining in the half, and a 14-7 San Francisco lead.
Dana Hall was shaken up on that touchdown pass from Hebert to Riza, and he's back in there, so it looks like it's not hurting him. He comes up and gets his face in the middle of that tackle to Pritchard. That are going to be short. Well, the crowd sure wants him to go for it. Same people who are cheering for him now will be saying, what the heck did he go for it if he doesn't get it?
They are indeed the same folks. And they're going to go for it. The punter is coming back off the field. The ball is at the 46-yard line of Atlanta. Mitch Lyons has come in, the tight end number 86, for blocking purposes. They've gone for it 13 times on 4th down this year, has Atlanta, and made it 7. Pegram, the lone setback. Pegram hit at the line. This will be close again.
Well, it's no surprise that they ran right behind the right side of the offensive line, because as I've been watching the tape, Chris Hinton has been unbelievable the last 5 and 6 weeks. Number 75 Hinton, 70 Whitfield. What you do is you just get behind those big rear ends and you just find an open hole, and right there it is. Number 33 gets that first down, Eric Pegram. Chris Hinton is playing as good as I've ever seen him play. I mean, he has just been killing people. Last week against Ray Childress, I felt sorry for Childress when that game was over, because Hinton just abused him.
Despite the loss to the Oilers, it was a close game into the 4th quarter. Hebert flushed and runs. First down to the 39 of San Francisco.
Bobby has lots of time to find the receiver, but the reason he has to take off is because there's nowhere to throw the football. Look at the zone, look at the coverage, everything's matched up. Everybody ready to break on somebody. Safety over the top, nowhere to go over here. Hebert sees nothing, decides to get this big first down, because look at this area.
San Francisco had their base 4-3 in on that play, but they've now gone back to that 4-1 with the extra DBs, Hall and Magruder, with a first down at their 39. 14-7 Niner lead, 5:09 to go in the first half. Broussard again at the 35-yard line. Washington and Hanks on the tackle. That's the time remaining here in the second quarter. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia. A sunny, breezy day outside, and we're indoors at the Georgia Dome. The ball at the 36-yard line. Atlanta with a good drive going here. 4:31 left. Broussard again. He's got some room on the corner. Gets a good block from Andre Rison and takes it all the way to the 21-yard line.
Well, I got to tell you, Eric Pegram is having a Pro Bowl year, but Broussard looks like 33 right now. Watch him use his speed. He'll start inside. It's supposed to be a trap. Start inside, then bounce it outside. Gets around Thomas. Now use your speed. Andre Rison with a block on Dana Hall and gives him another 5 yards.
Carl Wilson comes in for Dennis Brown. Falcons starting to make it work on the ground. 56 yards on this drive alone after failing on the first 3 possessions. And the shotgun. Hebert just gets it away. That'll be over everybody. Sanders, the intended receiver, Deion Sanders. Carl Wilson had the heat on Hebert.
Well, you know, Sanders, again, he's in there for a reason. They're going to try to get him the ball. I got to think this is the time to pump to Sanders and go to Rison or Haynes someplace else.
Matt, George Seifert has used virtually everybody on defense in this first half. Everybody's gotten to play. There is still an unsettled feeling about the 49er defense. He's looking for the right combinations out there as they have such a young team with the likes of Fagan and Roberts out of action. Broussard gets about 3 to the 20-yard line where Stubblefield, the rookie from Kansas, makes the hit.
That's going to be a good football player, Dana Stubblefield. But he does real well. If you look at him, he's 300-some pounds, and from the waist down, he's about 500 pounds. And he uses that to his advantage. What he does is he stays nice and low, and he doesn't give you any kind of an opportunity to hit him up high. He's got great quickness off the ball, and he moves well for a big guy. But from the waist down, you know, he looks like King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy makes our show once again. 3rd down and 8 from the 21-yard line. Short drop this time up the middle. It's incomplete, intended for Sanders. Little behind him. Deion couldn't bring it in.
Well, Deion Sanders should have made that catch. You know, Deion Sanders is the kind of athlete that should make this catch. The ball is thrown behind him. It's the ability to adjust on the fly. Watch him get behind in the zone. He's got to come back. That should be a first down.
Actually, looks like he slips a little bit here, trying to reach back for the ball. Right there.
He can slip all he wants. I say he should make the catch.
Norm Johnson is the main man kicking the football in the league this year. Perfect 21 for 21 on the season. From 38. It is no good. Johnson's streak is over. And the score remains the 49ers 14-7.
And just missed this. The snap is perfect. The hold is perfect. You'll see him snap the laces away. The ball is up. He just hit it a little bit to the right, and in the words of the immortal Maxwell Smart, missed it by that much.
Well, it ends a streak of 26 in a row going into last season. He needed only 3 more to tie the record of San Diego's John Carney. Did not get it. And that pass intended for Dexter Carter. Either Carter turned the wrong way or Young threw it inside. You got to bet that Carter, who has less time in the field than Young, made the mistake.
Well, and Steve Young was under some pressure and just threw it up there and hope that Carter was going to be able to adjust. Now watch the stutter. He takes Harper up. He beats him with, look at, there's the separation, the chance for the big play. But Young threw that. It looks like he may have hurt his wrist.
Ball didn't get there, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, he's holding his wrist and going back and forth. And, you know, he had problems with his thumb earlier in the season.
2nd and 10, 49ers from the 20-yard line. Here comes the pressure. Young gets it off to Rice. Away from Sanders, first down to the 42-yard line. Score one for Rice.
And score one for Steve Young. After having trouble with his wrist, he gets all kinds of pressure. Has the presence to step up in the pocket and find Jerry Rice coming across, pulled down by one hand. Now watch the move by Rice. This is called stop and go. See, he finds the open hole. Now Sanders to a top shoulder, stop, throw him by. Doesn't get any better than that.
2 minutes remaining, first half. 49ers on top. Quarter here at the Georgia Dome. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen, where the 49ers lead 14-7, and they have a first down at the 49er 41-yard line. Taking a look at Steve's passing so far.
Yeah, well, it's been bombs away, huh? Nothing over 30 yards, 120-29. Everything has been underneath, and a lot of that has been deep zone by the Falcons and then man-to-man, so they've been going underneath with picks and stuff like we saw on the touchdown.
Steve Young just 13 of 25 against Cincinnati after he got dinged. That is Mark Logan's first reception and a first down to the 36-yard line of Atlanta.
Well, he got out in the flat, and then he picks up a Rice by Jerry Block. How's that? He picked up a block by Jerry Rice. The mark of a great player isn't always what he does when the ball's in his hands. It's what he does all the time on the play. Rice can do everything. And he gets the jam on Sanders. Now he sees it. Just keeps on working upfield. I have never seen a harder working superstar than Jerry Rice.
Well, Young didn't like the development of that play. It was just a 23-yard gain. First down, 49ers. Logan on the inside handoff, tripped up, and a flag down. He might have been literally tripped up. Looked like Chuck Smith was the man who make the stop on him, and it's a hold call against San Francisco.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to catch 64 Ralph Tam. They go with the counter OT, bringing Tam and Barton around, and they got caught inside with the hold. Ralph Tam out of Westchester.
Ball marched back to the 46-yard line.
For offense, 10 yards. Repeat first down.
Well, we'll be going to halftime shortly on the NFL Today Halftime Report. Greg and Terry will bring you all the news and highlights, plus a live interview with this year's Heisman Trophy Award winner, Charlie Ward. That's coming up at halftime. Young runs out of time, still trying to make a play. Tuggle in pursuit, steers him out after a gain of about 3.
You can see as he took off that he was running to his left, and he was still looking downfield to find the open receiver. There was good coverage, so he just decided to turn it up. He's been throwing everything underneath, but you could see he's going wide receivers. The majority of that has been to John Taylor. The running backs out of the backfield, and Brent Jones underneath.
Jamie Williams got a couple early in the game as well. Second down again. Young has a man open. It's Rice. Sanders knocks him out of bounds. The ball comes loose, but it'll be a Niner first down at the 25-yard line.
And almost identical to the first quarter when Rice drove him off the ball and then breaks back underneath. Watch the comeback. Drive him upfield, get him to turn his shoulders, now break off. Deion Sanders, where he has really improved, has been in his tackling. In years past, he would rely on speed and just try to hold on to you. But what's happened is he's honed his skills, and now what he's doing is making the play instead of just trying to make the play.
But Rice is winning this battle against Sanders. The interception by Sanders early was a dandy, and he is down and might be bothered by that groin injury that's been plaguing him. 8 left in the half. San Francisco on top 14-7 with a first down at the Atlanta 25 and 2 timeouts remaining. Deion Sanders was down on one knee during the timeout, and he's been bothered not only with a groin injury but also with a strange virus that has created an infection in his larynx, and he was throwing up on the field at practice the other day. He's just not well yet.
And he's not breathing right, and he knows that's a factor the longer the game goes. If Rice keeps trying to take him up all the time and getting him into a situation where he has to breathe heavy, he has a problem with that.
Amp Lee dives to the 20-yard line. A pickup of 5, down to 1:19 on the clock. 49ers in the hurry up. Falcons in the slowdown. 3 wide receivers are in. Sanjay Beach joining Taylor and Rice. Here's Rice. Spin move. First down to the 12-yard line. Got away from Tracy Eaton.
Young called the timeout with 58 seconds to go, but Jerry Rice doing a very good job. Now you're going to watch. He's going to wait for the guy to clear right at the top, right there. Brent Jones, watch him clear. Now come back underneath. He'll make the first man miss. Tracy Eaton. Now watch who whacks him. Deion Sanders with a good hit. Now Rice, this is the Rice pirouette right here. Make the first man miss, get as much as you can. A good stick by Deion Sanders. You know, the interesting thing about Sanders to me when I spoke to him the other day concerning Jerry Rice, and we talked about it with Leslie Visser on the pregame, was the fact that Jerry Rice gets stronger as the game goes on. And the reason is his great conditioning. I mentioned to you about the fact that I've never seen a man work harder than Jerry Rice. He works constantly, he runs constantly. The greatest strength of Jerry Rice isn't his hands, isn't his conditioning. It's the fear of not living up to the standard that he has set.
The little things he was working on even here yesterday afternoon in the Georgia Dome. That's impressive to see. The tiny things, having the trainer throw left-handed to him so he can get that revolution of the ball from Steve Young. Practicing his catches right at the sideline. Amazing for a superstar. Young hit behind. They blew the whistle before Chuck Smith made the contact.
False start before the snap. 65 offense. 5 yards, still first down.
False start against Harry Boatswain, who's in there for the injured Steve Wallace, the second-year man from New Haven. 58 seconds still remain. The ball is now marked at the 18-yard line, make it the 17 of Atlanta. And there's Steve Wallace on the sideline, out of uniform today. Should be ready to go next week. He's bothered by an ankle injury. Draw play for Logan. Smith hits him from behind. The ball is loose. Falcons have it.
Chuck Smith with a big play.
They haven't marked it to Atlanta yet. May not be Atlanta ball.
Charge timeout. San Francisco, third.
Well, Logan did a good job of getting the ball back. Chuck Smith with a smack. The ball comes loose. Watch the ball come out. Nice strip by Smith. Now it's going to go. He tries to hit it.
Smith knocked it over Logan. It bounced right back to him. Isn't that something? And Scott Case trying to steal it, but Logan given a third opportunity, make sure he covers it.
You know, you can do that thing 100 times and it's not going to happen again.
49ers, a little luck there. Have the ball at the 14-yard line. 48 seconds left. We're at the Georgia Dome, a sellout crowd, more than 71,000 on hand. Watching the Atlanta Falcons in this NFC West matchup. Atlanta believes if they can win this game that they could win the rest of their schedule and at least be in the picture for a playoff spot. And that is dropped. Logan incomplete. Third down.
And that's the same play that they used with Tom Rathman back underneath, and the plays made by Jesse Tuggle. Jesse Tuggle has really elevated his play. We talked about this earlier. And what does Jesse Tuggle do well? Well, Jesse has a very good feel in pass coverage in the zones. He's not the greatest man-to-man, although he does have good speed. His strength is in the zone. He sits back there, can see the whole picture, and has a good break of the ball.
3 wide receivers on 3rd and 12. Beach running Taylor and Rice. Intended for Rice, broken up by Sanders. 4th down.
Well, Rice had made 3 catches in a row. Sanders was not going to let him get to the end zone. Look at the great jam. Now use your speed. Stay on the top shoulder. Now, one of the things that Jerry Rice does very, very well is use that umpire. The umpire stands right in the middle. What he'll do is he'll run the defender into the umpire and try to get separation. Sanders knows that. Speed. Stay on the top shoulder. Now, one of the things that Jerry Rice does very, very well is use that umpire. The umpire stands right in the middle. What he'll do is he'll run the defender into the umpire and try to get separation. Sanders knows that, goes on top, stays right on top.
Kofor will attempt the field goal. Being spotted at the 22-yard line. 32-yard attempt for Kofor. And it is good. The 49ers widen their lead with 34 seconds remaining in the first half on the 32-yard field goal by Mike Kofor. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and the CBS telecast intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Atlanta Falcons, and the National Football League is prohibited. Well, virtually the entire roster of the Falcons gets out there before a kickoff play. Juice up the kickoff unit, kickoff return unit.
Here's the biggest deal right here. No one does this better. There's the matchup of Sanders and Rice, and right here is the umpire. No one in the league uses the umpire better than Jerry Rice. He gets the jam. He knows he's in man coverage. Now watch him try to get separation with the umpire. See that? He'll get the umpire between him and the man and try to get his separation. Deion knew that, used his speed to come over the top. It also winded him, and it also has some problems with that infection.
Yes, he just doesn't look like he's feeling too well, but he's having to chase Rice virtually on every play.
Well, that's the great matchup, and that's why they play the game, to see who's better, and right now it looks like a wash.
I've got Rice ahead on points.
I'm going to look at your scorecard.
Smith, 2 yards deep in the end zone, does not bring it out, so Atlanta will start from their 20-yard line. 34 seconds left for Bobby Hebert and company to try and make something happen if they choose to. Hebert 7 of 12 in this first half, 97 yards and a touchdown pass to Andre Rison. Bobby Hebert last week against Houston, 30 of 52, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. It was a very strange game that was close going into the final quarter, but the turnovers inevitably killed him. And you can see Steve Young with an ice bag on that left wrist. Had the problem earlier in the season with his thumb, which he feels is virtually cured. Now bothered by a wrist in this game. That's complete to Haynes. Haynes has about 9 on the play, and Sanders will take an early trip to the locker room with 28 seconds still remaining in the first half.
Well, you can see when Deion has come back, you 0-5, he gets back there 5-2, it's takeaways, all those things are good, but the biggest thing is he has brought an attitude. And all of a sudden, at this point in his career, they look to Deion Sanders for leadership, and he's provided it. It's almost like he's come back this season and wants to be the guy, and he has been, Tim.
Man, I can't really remember another defensive back who's had that kind of influence on a team. There's always teams with great players, certainly Ronnie Lott, San Francisco. But this guy is the man on the team. You remember another one?
I can't. You know, when I look across, I don't even forget even a defensive back. Think of a player, except for maybe a quarterback who comes in like Joe Montana out in Kansas City, where he picked up the whole team. Deion Sanders has managed to pick up the defense and also the offense.
Perhaps the only comparison, at least defensively, would be Lawrence Taylor in his great years with the Giants.
Or maybe Rod Woodson right now in Pittsburgh.
It is a 2nd and 2 for Atlanta at the 28-yard line. Hebert gets time, but there's good coverage. The release man Broussard has the first down. Again, the intelligence of Bobby Hebert, although they're running out of time here in this half, picked up the First down keeps the clock going here, unfortunately for Atlanta. 6 seconds, he'll get one more. Haynes. And that's going to do it. Zeros are up at the Georgia Dome. The end of the first half. The score, the San Francisco 49ers 17, the Atlanta Falcons 7.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the New Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Dean Witter measures